Good morning, afternoon, everyone. We live in a world where success is often measured by the things we have, the car we drive, the house we live in, the title on our business card. But let me ask you something. Is that all there is? Is that what truly defines fulfillment? Success is a destination, yes, but fulfillment, true, lasting fulfillment is a journey that begins with a simple question. Why do we do what we do? Simon Sinek, in his brilliant work, introduced us to the concept of starting with why. He emphasized that people don't follow what we do, they follow why we do it. And when we lead with our purpose, with our deepest values, we don't just chase after success, we create a life of fulfillment. Today, I want to explore how we can shift our focus from simply achieving success to finding meaning in every step we take. Because success without fulfillment is hollow. It's time we ask ourselves, what is the deeper purpose behind our ambition? How can we live a life that not only makes a mark, but leaves us with a sense of peace, joy, and purpose? Let's dive into the journey of fulfillment that goes beyond the applause and the accolades. Let's find out how to live with intention, grounded in why, and how doing so will lead to a truly fulfilled life. Success, in its traditional sense, is often measured by tangible outcomes. How much money we have, the position we hold, the accolades we collect. These are external markers that society has conditioned us to view as the ultimate indicators of accomplishment. But if we take a step back and look at the bigger picture, we start to see a more profound question emerging. What is the deeper purpose behind our pursuit of these goals? Why do we push ourselves so hard? What drives us to wake up every morning, to hustle, to strive for more? This is where the concept of why becomes essential. When Simon Sinek talks about starting with why, he's not simply referring to the act of setting goals or following a career path. He's talking about understanding the core reason that motivates you, the underlying belief or passion that guides everything you do. This why is the compass that gives direction and meaning to your actions. Without it, success becomes a hollow pursuit, a race with no finish line where the more you achieve, the more you feel unfulfilled, as though something is always missing. To find fulfillment, we must first look inward and ask ourselves what truly matters. When you start with your why, you tap into something that transcends external validation. You begin to live a life of purpose, not one dictated by societal expectations or external pressures. Your why will become the driving force behind every decision you make, whether in your personal or professional life. It fuels your passion and resilience, and it serves as a filter through which you can assess what is truly important. Take the example of someone who becomes a doctor not because of a love for healing or helping others, but because they were told it was a prestigious career. In this case, the why is external, to gain status, respect, or financial success. But without a genuine connection to the purpose of the profession, that person may feel drained, unfulfilled, and disconnected from their work, despite their outward success. On the other hand, a doctor whose why is rooted in a deep commitment to serving others and making a difference in people's lives will find joy in the process of helping, regardless of the challenges they face. This is where the concept of fulfillment comes into play. Fulfillment is not about reaching a particular milestone or checking off items on a to-do list. It's about living in alignment with your core values, your authentic self. When your actions are guided by your why, you experience a sense of satisfaction that isn't dependent on external rewards or recognition. This sense of fulfillment can only come when you are fully connected to your deeper purpose, when you're working towards something that feels meaningful. Finding your why also brings clarity to your life. It provides you with a lens through which you can evaluate opportunities, make decisions, and prioritize your time. Without this clarity, it's easy to get lost in the noise of day-to-day life. We become so focused on the next promotion, the next sale, the next achievement that we forget why we started in the first place. In the absence of a clear why, success becomes an endless chase, constantly striving for the next thing, but never feeling truly satisfied. Moreover, starting with why helps you navigate challenges with resilience. Life will inevitably throw obstacles in your path, and when you encounter setbacks, it's easy to lose motivation. When your actions are rooted in your why, setbacks become less discouraging. You understand that the pursuit is not about avoiding failure or attaining immediate rewards. It's about staying true to your purpose, This mindset shift allows you to approach challenges as opportunities for growth, rather than roadblocks to success. Think of people like Steve Jobs, whose vision for Apple wasn't just about creating products, but about changing the world through innovation and design. His why was to make technology more accessible and intuitive, to enrich lives with products that didn't just work, but inspired people. This why was what fueled his relentless drive, even when faced with adversity. It's this deep sense of purpose that sustained him through the toughest moments of his career and ultimately led to his success. Without his clear why, the innovations Apple produced might have lacked the depth of impact they ultimately had. In essence, when you start with why, you're not just aiming for success, you're cultivating a life of meaning and fulfillment. You're ensuring that the pursuit of your goals is rooted in something that resonates with who you truly are, not just what you are told you should be. Your why becomes the foundation upon which everything else is built. It's what makes the long hours, the hard work, and the sacrifices worth it. It's the source of your resilience and determination. Most importantly, it's the key to finding fulfillment, not just success, in everything you do. Fulfillment is not a static state, nor is it something that can be attained by achieving perfection. In fact, the pursuit of perfection can often be a trap that prevents us from experiencing true fulfillment. Society teaches us that perfection is the goal, that only the flawless, the untouchable, the ideal will bring us recognition, respect, and happiness. But the reality is that perfection is a myth, a moving target that is impossible to hit. What brings fulfillment, however, is not the achievement of perfection, but the pursuit of growth. When we focus on growth rather than perfection, we begin to see progress as a journey rather than a destination. Growth is an ongoing process, one that involves learning, evolving, and adapting to the challenges we face. It requires a mindset that is open to change and unafraid of failure, because failure is not the opposite of success. It is a part of the process. Every failure, every misstep provides valuable lessons that allow us to become better, stronger, and more capable of reaching our potential. In this context, growth is not about avoiding mistakes or seeking flawless outcomes. It's about embracing the process and continuously striving to improve. Consider how a tree grows. It doesn't spring to life as a fully grown oak. It starts as a small seed, and over time, it faces the elements, the wind, the rain, the sun. With each challenge, the tree adapts. It bends with the wind and grows towards the light. There is no perfection in its growth, but there is beauty in its journey. Similarly, we grow not by avoiding challenges, but by navigating them and learning from them. Each experience, whether it's a success or a failure, contributes to who we are and what we can become. The emphasis on perfection often causes us to become overly critical of ourselves. We start to believe that anything less than flawless is a failure. This mindset can lead to burnout, stress, and dissatisfaction, because we are setting ourselves up for an impossible standard. When we accept that growth is more important than perfection, we free ourselves from this pressure. We begin to understand that it's okay not to have all the answers, that it's okay to make mistakes, and that we can always improve. This shift in mindset opens the door to creativity and innovation. When we are not paralyzed by the need to be perfect, we are more willing to take risks, experiment, and think outside the box. We stop seeing mistakes as failures and start seeing them as opportunities to learn and improve. It is through this process of trial and error that we make the greatest strides in our personal and professional lives. When we prioritize growth, we embrace the possibility of reinvention. We recognize that success is not defined by a single perfect moment, but by the continuous evolution of who we are. Pursuing growth also means being patient with ourselves. Growth takes time, and it doesn't always happen in a straight line. There will be setbacks, moments of doubt, and periods where progress feels slow. But this is where the power of persistence comes into play. It is during these difficult times that our commitment to growth is tested. Rather than focusing on the end result, we focus on the small improvements that we make each day. We begin to appreciate the process itself, knowing that the person we are becoming is just as important as what we are achieving. Another aspect of growth is self-awareness. As we grow, we begin to recognize our strengths and weaknesses more clearly. We understand what drives us, what excites us, and what holds us back. This awareness allows us to make more informed decisions about the direction we want our lives to take. We become more intentional in our choices, ensuring that we are aligned with our values and our purpose. It's through this self-awareness that we can begin to take ownership of our growth, rather than relying on external factors to dictate our path. When we focus on growth, we also begin to develop resilience. Life is full of challenges, some big, some small, and it's easy to feel discouraged when things don't go as planned. However, with a growth mindset, we learn to view challenges as opportunities for growth rather than as obstacles. We develop the ability to bounce back from setbacks, learn from our mistakes, and keep moving forward. This resilience is what ultimately leads to fulfillment because it allows us to maintain a sense of purpose even in the face of adversity. Growth, unlike perfection, is a personal and unique experience. Everyone's journey is different, and the path to growth is not the same for everyone. Some people grow through their work, others through their relationships, and some through their personal pursuits. The key is to remain open to the process, to continue learning and evolving, and to find joy in the journey rather than the destination. True fulfillment comes not from reaching an ideal state, but from the continuous pursuit becoming the best version of ourselves, understanding that this journey will never be perfect, and that's okay. In fact, it's more than okay, it's the very essence of a life well lived. In the pursuit of fulfillment, one of the most profound truths is that success, when isolated from meaningful relationships, can feel incomplete. It is not the individual achievements that ultimately bring lasting satisfaction, but the depth of our connections with others. Our relationships shape who we are and who we become, influencing our experiences, perspectives, and the way we navigate life's challenges. No matter how high we climb or how much we accumulate, if we do so without the support and companionship of others, we are likely to feel a sense of emptiness. At its core, fulfillment is not just about what we accomplish in isolation, but about the impact we have on those around us. Human beings are inherently social creatures, wired for connection. We thrive on the bonds we share with family, friends, colleagues, and communities. These relationships offer us emotional support, encouragement, and inspiration, all of which are essential for navigating the ups and downs of life. When we value these connections, we create a network of support that enriches our lives and fuels our sense of purpose. Our relationships provide us with a sense of belonging, which is vital for our well-being. Belonging isn't just about being part of a group. It's about being accepted for who we truly are. This sense of acceptance fosters a deep sense of security and confidence, allowing us to take risks, pursue our goals, and navigate the challenges of life without fear of rejection. When we have people around us who support us unconditionally, we are more likely to feel empowered to be our authentic selves. We stop pretending to be someone we're not, and we embrace the vulnerability that comes with being seen and understood by others. The importance of relationships and finding fulfillment extends beyond personal connections to professional ones as well. In the workplace, relationships are the foundation of collaboration, creativity, and innovation. It's not just about the tasks we complete or the deadlines we meet, but about how we work together with others to achieve common goals. Our colleagues, mentors, and business partners shape our experiences at work, and it is through these relationships that we learn, grow, and find purpose in what we do. When we build strong, trust-based relationships at work, we create an environment where everyone feels valued and motivated to contribute their best. The sense of camaraderie and mutual support that emerges from these connections creates a fulfilling work experience that goes far beyond a paycheck. In fact, many people find that their most fulfilling work is the kind that allows them to make a positive impact on others. When our work is aligned with our values and provides opportunities to connect with others in meaningful ways, it becomes a source of deep satisfaction. This is why some of the most successful and fulfilled people are those who focus not just on what they achieve individually, but on how their work impacts the lives of others. They understand that the true measure of success is not just in what we accomplish for ourselves, but in what we contribute to the well-being of those around us. Building meaningful relationships also involves giving of ourselves. True connection requires vulnerability, empathy, and a willingness to invest in others. It's not enough to simply expect others to meet our emotional needs. We must be willing to give our time, energy, and care to others as well. This reciprocity is what makes relationships so powerful. When we are open to giving and receiving, we create an environment of trust, where people feel safe to share their thoughts, feelings, and challenges. These moments of mutual support are what create lasting bonds and contribute to our overall sense of fulfillment. One of the key aspects of fulfilling relationships is the ability to be present with others. In our fast-paced, distraction-filled world, it's easy to be physically present without truly being present. We may be in the same route as someone, but our minds are elsewhere, occupied with our own concerns or distractions. The real power of relationships comes from the quality of our interactions, not just the quantity. When we are present with others, when we listen attentively and engage fully, we create a space where connection can flourish. These moments of deep engagement strengthen the bonds we share and provide us with a sense of meaning and purpose. In addition to being present with others, it's important to cultivate a mindset of gratitude and appreciation. Often, we take our relationships for granted, assuming that they will always be there. But relationships require effort, attention, and care. When we take the time to express gratitude for the people in our lives, we acknowledge the value they bring to our lives and deepen our connection with them. Gratitude fosters a positive and supportive atmosphere, making it easier to navigate challenges and grow together. Ultimately, the importance of relationships and finding fulfillment cannot be overstated. Our relationships with others provide us with the support, encouragement, and connection we need to thrive. Whether personal or professional, these relationships shape our experiences, guide us through difficult times, and inspire us to be better versions of ourselves. When we prioritize our connections with others, when we invest in nurturing and strengthening those bonds, we create a life that is not only successful but deeply fulfilling. True fulfillment comes not from what we accomplish alone, but from the love, support, and impact we have on those we care about and those who care about us.